Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening. It's the Boom Bar on Boom Radio NG. My name is Sola Rogers.
And my name is Oladelpa. You know, the one and only. It's Friday. It's Friday. It is Friday right here at the bar, and I'm guessing everywhere else. I'm hoping.
TGIF. Thank God it's Friday.
Mm-hmm. And very, very interesting day today because we're going to be talking about a lot of things. It is New Music Friday. It is Friday, and there are a lot of, more like a lot of albums actually that dropped that we're definitely going to be talking about. The bit of entertainment news that will also go through. Sport news, definitely we're going to get through that. Before we break down a lot of issues, mostly Nigerian issues.
Break down a lot of breakables.
Yeah, so sit back, relax, and then, enjoy as we get right into the show.
You heard?
Okay, so let's
That's it.
yes, sir.
The way you said it, it was going to be like there was going to be one advert or some promo, then you now come back. You just sit back and then you pause, then you just, no, wow.
Anyway,
Producer, where are you? You people are not producing well.
I have nothing to say to you. It is New Music Friday, so there's actually a lot of albums and a lot of EPs that we're going
Which
to
is
be...
wickedness. It's wickedness. But we'll get to it.
We definitely will get to it. We definitely get there. There are a lot of songs out this week. Where do we even start from? I think we should start from Adekunle Gold's album.
Yeah, start any way you want to start. It's just wickedness that all these people did this week. Yeah.
Why are you angry?
You cannot share.
Anyway,
They did
Adekunle Gold's
wickedness.
album, it is Tekile Ever After. There's been a lot of promos about it.
Yeah.
Like everybody has heard about it. They've done very funny enough. I think it's really actually very commendable. Yeah. There are very creative ways he has had in the last couple of weeks actually to promote his album, and I think I like it. It's literally in your face. You can't say that you don't know the album is coming out.
No, you can't.
There's been a lot of behind the scenes that we've seen. We've seen a lot of people actually seeing that his single that came out and all that. So yeah, I think it's a very creative way to actually put your stuff out there and for you to anticipate. And yes, anticipated we did.
Yes, I must commend him. You know, the build up to the release of his album was top notch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you got to give it to him. Like, he went to town on this one.
Yeah,
he wasn't playing around.
He did, definitely did. And on that note, we're going straight into it. On this album had Pharrell on it. This album we saw Odumodu Black. This album we saw Simi. We saw quite a number of people on this particular album.
Yeah, we did. Now, I have not listened to the entire album, but the beauty of it is that there are a couple of songs that he had released, pre-album, like singles. He had dropped some singles and all. But, the few that I listened to, about 4 or 5 or 6 of them, they're actually Adekunle Goldish.
Yeah, very Adekunle Gold.
This
exactly.
is Adekunle's style.
Yeah.
Adekunle indeed has a unique style, and I don't think he has been celebrated for that.
I think that what we call unique, I think that it has evolved. I'll say yes. His style has always been unique. That you cannot take away from him. When we first heard Adekunle Gold up until now, he has definitely evolved, but it is still Adekunle Gold. That album has 18 songs. Very interesting song with Odumodu Black. Actually, I like that song. That album has the Party No They Stop with Zinoliski. Oh, that song obviously was off the charts when it came out. Look What You Made Me Do featuring Simi. It's a collaboration we had not seen in a while with both of them. So it was really very nice. We saw Come Back to Me featuring Khalid. Very, very nice song. Falling Up featuring Farrells and now Rogers. It was very different.
Yeah,
My
cousin came through on that
God.
one. Cousin Rogers, Sola Rogers, now Rogers.
It's
The
not
Rogers,
the same thing.
the Rogers family.
It's not.
Yeah. Now you're 18.
You're always your family.
Now you're 18.
You're always your family.
Player aider
You're
a lot.
always your family. Anyway, so overall, with what you've listened to, what do you think about the album?
It's a good album, and one of the things I want to comment is the entire body of work. The fact that someone, went out to give you 18 tracks, we don't see that these days. And I'm glad that we've moved away from single after single after single to the max. Whatever happened to that era where people thought that the mixtape was the way to go? That era is gone.
Definitely gone.
It's gone.
I think that with the amount of songs, or would I say with the amount of, yes, actually.
Because we have an industry now, that's
There's
why.
a major industry. So if you're not careful, you will be bounced. Or you do a show now. How do you want to sing? What do you want to come
How
and
many
sing?
songs do you want to
What
sing?
do you want to come and sing?
So shout out to him, 18 tracks. And according to him, he had 60 songs to pick from. 60. Some artists are going to go through their entire career and not have 60 songs at all. I know what I'm saying. I know what I'm saying, but I'm not mentioning names. All they have to do is drop one single in every 2 years and they claim to be artists.
You are now doing too much.
Okay,
You are doing
sue
too
me.
much. Yeah.
Sue me. At least I didn't mention names. But the thing about it is that Dekule has done very, very, very well. And I am extremely happy that he's done this. 18 tracks, nice songs, something about being a baby, don't be a baby. I like that one. I think I played that one about twice, And the song with Odumodu, I'm like, okay, bros, who you dey fight, And Odumodu, we need to have a sit down with Odumodu, man. I think I like his style. Is like he's ready to pop, like
Be coming down.
And I didn't want to link any of the songs to recent social media trends or fallouts with any artist whatsoever that shall remain nameless, But I like Dekule's album. It shows that Dekule has grown.
Oh, yeah.
And it shows that he put in a lot of work. Like when you hear it, you know it.
It's a very calm. But there are a few, like if you're listening to it, there are a few that just pops out. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. But yeah, very, very, very nice album. You definitely need to go and check that out.
Please, like we always do, regardless of the fact that we are, an online radio station, TV, streaming, and all of that, we also encourage people to go and, listen to the artists on their own streaming platforms and their websites and their social media and all of that because, that's how the industry grows. Even if, the money might not be as much as they want it to be, but the views and the listens helps their rankings, helps the charts. And speaking about charts, hopefully, God willing, August, we should be able to kick off our own Nigeria top 10, top 12 weekly chart, counting down from number 10 or 12 to number 1. And shout out to Dekule Gold again. I think it's done an amazing job.
Okay, talking about albums and albums that are very interesting to listen to. This one we did not see. Compared to Dekule Gold, that there was a build up for weeks. This one we kind of didn't hear a lot about it until like a few days ago.
Yeah.
And then kaboom, there was an album coming. Oh wow. And this is Kiss Daniel's album, Maverick.
Yes, the Maverick.
This one had a 21 track. It's a 21 track album.
Mm-hmm. So we're talking Dekule with 18, and it's a lot. Mm-hmm. Then the Maverick is 21. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
But this is what you get from artists who are, purists. They're Puritans. They're musicians. They revel in their own talent. Like, they know they have it.
They have it,
so they have to flaunt it. So it's something that is pleasant to me. it also comes from people who understand the business of music. It's beyond dropping one or two. It's about having that repertoire. It's about having that library that, when you go on tour, you go perform.
You're picking from there and
it's
that.
song after song after song.
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing to actually see this now and see what Nigerian music and the industry is, where they are at the moment. So getting right into the album Maverick. I think I listened to Adekunle Gold's album. I actually sat down to listen to it. This one, I won't say because I really personally like Kiss Daniel a lot.
You like to kiss Daniel?
We're moving on from that.
Oh, you don't want to kiss him anymore? Kiss.
This album is
Daniel.
very, it has you could call it a little bit emotional. He's very into this album. There was a lot of him very into this album. It personally, I think, is a beautiful album. It is a beautiful body of work. We got to see collaborations with a few people. Got to see collaborations with his sons. There is a particular song that, as short as it is, it was very. We saw a lot of, would I say, poetic, connotations in this. Like the song "Red and Green." It was a very, it was a very short song, which those are the kind of songs that you would think that, okay, will be longer than you would expect, but here we are. It was what it was. It had a bit of, I think that was the song that he had mentioned his late son. In, there are a few songs here and there. A song with Johnny Drill. It is a beautiful album.
There's another
and
one.
I think we're back to no bad songs again.
There's another one that he had with DJ Big N,
Yemi
Alade,
and
Young John.
Young John, yeah.
Young John, the artist, and it was nice. I Kiss Daniel is who he thinks he is.
Yeah, I agree.
When an artist like Kiss Daniels comes through,
it was worth listening to. Like it was an album that, okay, you really don't have to sometimes you just skip and okay, we're done with this song. No, it's a very, very, very nice body of work. You really should actually go
listen,
check it out. Still talking about albums before we leave the era of albums. In a couple of days, another person's album is dropping, and it is really, really highly anticipated. Olamide's album, that talks about how this album might be his last album. But we've heard a lot of that from Olamide.
Yeah, Jay-Z said more than that.
We've heard a lot. Even this particular Olamide, we've heard a lot about it. But we're definitely anticipating his Unruly album. That definitely is what you're like, okay, we're coming. We're waiting for that.
He put out the track list and everybody's going on about it. The talking point for me about Olamide's anticipated Unruly album, it's supposed to drop, I think, 9th or 10th of August.
Mm-hmm.
It is the few features that he has. And, there's Rema. And I'm like, Olamide and Rema, wow.
Like, you won't, that's not even...
There's CK, of course, there's Ashake.
There's Ashake. Of course, there's Fireboy.
Of course, there's Fireboy.
Yeah.
In the same August, we're also anticipating Burna Boy's album.
Burna Boy's album, too, is about to drop.
We're still going to talk about him because he
dropped
the
single.
single.
So, yeah, talking about Burna Boy, we saw Big 7. That was... I would say that this is probably one of... I would say... It sounds very okay. I don't want to. You know what? Don't let me say. Let me just. But anyway, it is a very nice song. It is Burna Boy. I like the tempo. I like the feel to the song. It is everything Burna Boy, and it is beautiful.
Burna is an amazing artist. He knows how to do songs that will keep him relevant, keep him at the top, keep him trending, and keep him making money.
Exactly.
You know, and that's what Big Seven is. The video is already out. It's shot on a basketball court. I would like to assume somewhere in America, you get. But indeed, and yes, indeed, Burna is who he says he is again.
It's
the
a
African
beautiful
giant.
song. Yes, it is
Always dropping hits. This one is a hit already.
I think this is a hit. I think so as well. Before we leave the era of EPs, I think let's move a bit to the EPs. Bella Schmother finally dropped his DND, Do Not Disturb EP.
Because he said that, I didn't want to disturb him.
Anyway, of course, I think it has just about 4 or 5 songs on it. Very beautiful EP. It's worth listening to. It's not time wasting. You would not waste your time listening to Bella Schmother's EP. It's very, very, very nice.
Bella's a unique selling point, and we're not going to tire of saying it, is his voice.
Yeah.
And the fact that I think he has mastered how to use it. I think he has mastered it.
I agree. I definitely agree with that. Also, Checkmate, Check dropped his EP as well. Checkmate's EP. I did not listen to it. There's so many things to get to. I did not listen to it, but I'm hoping that's actually a very nice EP. Did you get around to it?
No, I didn't. But I've been listening to a couple of his songs. Superboy Check, that's his handle on Twitter, is an artist that amazes me. You're like, is he American? Did he grow up there?
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, the man is homegrown, but he's good in this hip hop, trap, music game, everything.
So it's something that I'm definitely looking forward to. I didn't have time, but I definitely will go back to it. I am actually looking forward to listening to this. Quickly, Ruga dropped Christy. To be honest, it was just there for me. It was not. I personally don't think it was a very fantastic song. Anyway, J5 and Benson, Love Made Me Do It. That is another song that, it was a song, like Burna Boy's Big Seven is a song that you can't like box into a genre like, okay, what exactly is this? But I think that is something like that J5 and Benson gave us. Beautiful, beautiful song.
Yeah. I listened to that one. And J5 has been really busy.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, I'm glad you said J5 because I thought like J5.
But
I think he's an amazing artist.
He's onto something.
And on that one too, Benson, really blessed that track.
This was the Benson we've been looking for a while. Yes, this was the this is the
did he
Benson.
go missing?
This is the Benson let me personalize. This is the Benson I literally fell in love with.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
You
beautiful,
guys broke
beautiful
up
song. At some point.
Oh yeah. Can we get you back together?
No, we're good. We're good
now that it's singing the way
now. Yeah.
You used to
We're
love.
good now.
All right.
Up there.
Benson, congratulations to you.
Anyway, there were a lot of songs this week. You definitely will catch a lot of them on Boom Radio NG at 5 p.m. today, tomorrow, and on Sunday. It is New Music Niger that will be playing for you.
That's what it is, baby.
Now,
that's what it is.
Before we leave entertainment, there are a few entertainment stories that I wanted to go through. One very interesting one, and I feel that, it's like people need to be keeping their rings these days because Tupac's ring, the Tupac Shakur, is said that there's a particular ring of his that is being sold for about $1 million at an auction.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I buy that kind of ring now, I'll just like frame it and just keep it somewhere here.
My friend, don't go and put it where they'll steal it too. That's the beauty of star power. Like when you're a star. Let me digress. So I saw a video of it's like some kind of social experiment where they set up a luxury brand in quotes.
Yeah, I think I saw that thing.
I shared it with a couple of people. I found it on social media. I didn't make it. They set up a luxury brand, and they got a lot of influencers and celebrities to come through, and they were buying things from this place somewhere in America. I think it was one of the upscale parts of America, and they got people to come through to buy these things, and when they bought them, they now told them that they were buying something from a regular store. Some people argued. A lot of them were shocked. In fact, all of them were shocked. Some argued, some didn't believe it. And it's about star power. So I see that a lot too. Like when you go shopping in some parts of the world, on the same street, you see a shirt material that is sewn in 2 or 3, but the same material. And in every store you go to, the prices are different.
Yeah.
You get. So it's all about star power. And that Tupac definitely has that. There's a story behind him. There's a story behind his ring. And someone will want to say, look, I own Tupac's ring. There's a reason why people are buying used. Sorry, we used to call it canvas when we were small. They call it trainers now.
Sneakers.
No, not necessarily sneakers. They're different. There's sneakers, there's high tops and low tops and all of that. But whatever Isha want to call Isha, the bottom line is that did you see how much they bought the ones that Jordans had used? Michael Jordan had used before.
Yeah.
You get. So it's about star power. It's about brands.
Yeah,
it's about perception, and that's what it is. So $1 million, the person that bought it can decide to sell years after.
Yeah.
You can cash in on it.
It's probably going to.
It's just like
cost a lot more.
even down to wine or alcohol or spirits and stuff. Some bottles that you've kept for so many years, you can sell it for way, way more than the value, especially when it is verified as authentic.
Okay.
And I have quite a few of them bottles.
So what?
Maybe you see me in 10 or 15 years time selling a 30-year-old bottle. And they're what happened now? I said, don't worry, I want to cash out.
Anyway, let's move on from
Which
that.
is actually no way.
Let's come back here. And looks like somebody somewhere is in trouble.
What happened?
Now, a popular skit maker, I think that at this point, maybe, I don't want to say maybe there should be some form of regulation, but I feel that we are getting to a point where skit makers, in quotes, a lot of them do not know where to draw the line. Mm-hmm. And why did I say so? So, I felt it was a little upsetting as well when I first saw this thing, but I felt, okay, since nobody's talking about it, what's my business? Only for me to see the headline yesterday where the police are saying that they're going to prosecute a particular scheme maker who we know that he's had role with the security operatives not about once or twice, about uniforms and all that. And you would have thought that this kind of person would have learned his lesson. If I am correct, he used to be the person of Cute Abiola. He used to be in the I think Nigerian Navy.
Yeah.
And he was actually being detained for a while for using the uniform and all Navy. That and the Navy and all that for a while. And then you will think that, of course, we know that he's left, but you will think that he would have learnt his lesson. Here we are, there are 2 different skits where he's now putting on the police uniform.
Yeah. Okay.
That's where my own, you can't come off and say you're ignorant.
Okay, so there's a shift in creativity. There's a shift in people creating, content. I remember that many years ago, when you watch a Nigerian movie, they don't use real names. They even don't use real locations.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Like, even if the movie is being shot in Lagos,
they will
not say the governor of Lagos is contesting
name
for an election and he fought someone and had someone killed. They don't do that. And I think it was because they were smart and they understood the law.
Yeah.
And they were trying to play safe. Even if the story sounds
Sounds like, but as long as it is not,
They didn't call your name. They didn't, so you can't actually go to court. You can't get mad about it.
Yeah.
And somewhere along the line, it's probably
We just
because
threw caution to the
a
wind.
lot of people who didn't study the business got into it's not a crime for people to be creative without training. It's fine. But at least try and learn what the law, you see, the law guides you a lot. So you see people making movies about gangsterism and they're actually portraying real life situations in their movies, using real locations and real names. And remember the other one that the people of Lagos Island are really mad at.
Yeah.
If they had shot that same video with some tweaks, people would be like, well, it's
It looks like it, but it's not.
Even the people that we learned content from will tell you that this does not bear, even if it bears any, this is not a real story.
Yeah.
At times those stories are real.
But
they already told you.
they already put it out there. They put a disclaimer.
It's like a two-step verification thing. Like you're protecting yourself, from litigation and all of these things. And I saw that thing decline to the point where nobody cared anymore. Now, look, you can crack your jokes. You can do everything you want to do. But remember that there is still a law, that the law guides all of us. The funniest skit maker in Nigeria today, in my opinion, is Lai Wasabi.
That guy is not well.
Someone has to stop Lai Wasabi.
He's not well.
Seriously, he needs to be stopped.
He's not well.
Just remembering the guy's face alone is making me laugh. It does not objectify women. It does not do vulgar. And he's still funny. But I have not seen him get threats or scandals around him, So I'm not saying that people should not express themselves. I'm saying understand the law. It's important. Now, a former naval rating or former naval officer or whatever should understand the importance of the uniform.
Exactly.
Don't get me wrong. I've come across a lot of terrible policemen.
And then when I was watching it, the two skits, I remember watching these two skits, and they're actually not portraying, because if they were portraying the police in a good light, I do not think that it would have been so much of an issue. But it was always the issue of bribe collection and all those things. Nobody's going to like it.
There's a movie that I have not seen, but was made in conjunction with the Nigerian Air Force.
Yeah.
You're not going to make that kind of movie and paint them bad, would you? Do you understand? And when they see your script, why not? Let's work with you. What I'm trying to say is that Cute Abiola, that's his brand name, right? Could have made this skits without basically trying to replicate the Nigerian police. You could have still made it. In fact, you could have made your policeman wear white, and done everything, and people will still get the message. I'm talking about creativity and how your creative license can land you in trouble or get you promoted. Now, if the legal department of Nigerian police was actually decide to take him up, he might be in trouble. It might. I don't know. Maybe he has lawyers that will find a loophole in this case. But this is a clarion call to people who make content. It's beyond the police fighting back now about it, the way you have depicted or portrayed them in a skit. It's also about the movies that we make. It's also about even the tweets that we put out.
They put out, yeah.
You make a lot of allegations that you cannot prove. I read a lot of things online and I say to myself, if any of these people decide to take you up, if any of them, can you actually prove it? Case in point is the lady that claims she was paid 200K. And I actually doubt her story. I think she's just a telltale person who wanted to, leverage off someone's brand. Okay. And the person that she was talking down reached out to her and said, please, I don't know you. Can you take this thing down? You're messing up my brand. And she told the person to F off. And at the end of the day, she's begging. Some people are even threatening the person that was, maligned. At the end of the day, if you don't have proof, please don't make these videos. don't make, even when you have proof at times.
Yeah,
if you don't
at
have the,
times,
if you don't have the liver for it.
let's just be. There's some things that we should really just be careful about
calm down.
when we put out. Anyway, so let's move on from all that. And before we go to a lot of issues that I'm sure a lot of us are waiting to hear, what another issue that is on my mind that I needed to let it out is the women of the moment. Nobody but the Super Falcons. Those people are doing Nigeria proud. I'm sorry for anybody else that is trying to play football. Y'all do not play football. At this moment too, I'm sorry. Anybody else that wants to say, I just dare to say that. I just put it out there. Anyway, there's the World Cup is still ongoing. Definitely, we all know that Nigeria defeated the co-host yesterday, 3-2. That game should have ended 3-1, but we will just be quiet. We will move on from all that. There's a lot of fighting with who's going to go, who will not go at this point. At the moment, Argentina and South Africa have played 2-2. England and Denmark. England defeated Denmark 1-0. China defeated Haiti 1-0. Other than one or two groups, is going to be fight to the finish for everybody, or for most people. 1, 2. It looks like there's going to be a lot of surprises. For one, there might not be any of the hosts of this World Cup moving on to the round of 16. There are going to be a lot of surprises as time goes on.
It's not. Sorry, let me talk. It is not impossible for that to happen. Mm-hmm. Sadly, the Matildas, that's the Australian women's team, they're ranked 10th in the world.
So why is it sad?
And they play one of the finest brands of football, gender or not gender. They're actually very good. So it will be a sad one because the turnout at the stadium might be affected. Only very few host nations will continue to go to the stadium when their home team is, knocked out, especially at an early stage. So that's the sad aspect of it for me. New Zealand, I felt that they are like unwilling hosts, in my opinion. They shout, okay, Australia is hosting.
Yeah.
They want us to host
They
along.
needed to, yeah.
Okay, let's do it together. Yeah, so it's all right. That's what I think. So, I don't know. They might not even feel anything. And if you notice, the people from New Zealand, they're not really buying the tickets. The stadiums are not packed, But Australia is bringing out...
Australia is is a football nation, so yeah.
They had about almost 40,000 people watching Nigeria annihilate Australia yesterday. So that's the sad part, because I'm not sure they're going to want to come out. To
come out a lot from that, yes. Maybe not. We definitely will see how that is going. Anyway, still talking about them. Sadly, there was a tweet that popped up yesterday, and this was directed at the NFF, and I think it was very sad that's where we are at that point, that it has not become a global issue that the NFF does not pay people their salaries.
Okay.
Seriously?
To be very honest, I'm not a big fan of the NFF, but I also try to avoid talking about things that I don't have in-depth knowledge about. You get? So if you have any information that will shed light on Ian Wright's tweet.
Yeah, I remember that there was a
respond.
few days before it was going to start, they were going to boycott one of the the girls were going to boycott their first match because of some allowances and all that. And you're wondering, like, really? And like to be honest, I think that these are not people that we should be owing. I'm sorry. Even if you're going to owe anybody else any allowance or anything, please, they're doing, at least they're going to the World Cup. A lot of other Nigerian teams did not go to the World Cup. Let's call it spade a spade. They ain't going nowhere.
So, on that note, I really feel that Nigerian sports administrators, football sports administrators, are not meant to work in that field. They are people who are there largely because of what they stand to gain as against what they are willing to offer. That is what I feel.
Okay.
So, in that case, that's why we will get dragged and things will be disgraceful because we have people who don't care about sports running sports.
Okay.
And I am waiting for the NFF's response to Ian Wright.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Okay, looks like I just popped up. Looks like Headies is officially a US.
And now they said they're going to be there for a couple of years.
Oh, they did.
Mm.
Oh, I thought it was a one-off. Oh, so it's officially a US award now. Okay, moving on.
Oh man, so that lays credence to what we're trying to tell you now.
Oh, okay, moving on. I'm not even going to belabor the matter. Anyway, let's move on from that and let's move on to a very interesting story that happened yesterday where the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu finally sent a list, even though incomplete, to the National Assembly. So I saw a story from the President's Chief of Staff, and it was very interesting, where there was a quote from him saying that it was more like they just wanted to meet the deadline.
Yeah. Yes, that's what happened. We also it happened.
And I'm like,
the Constitution states.
Why did it take so long? So you had to wait to meet the deadline. Seriously, I thought you were going to hit the ground running.
The Constitution states that you need to have a minister from every state in Nigeria.
Yeah.
So the list that was sent even had 2 from one state.
Oh, had 2 from about 3 states actually.
And that's what I meant.
And then it's not even still complete.
So, which also means that we're definitely going to have more than 36.
So according to him, they're saying that there's going to be a supplementary list of about 12 or 13 other names. There are a lot of people that people had thought that were going to be on that list that they were not. There are people that you would expect or you would have thought that would not be on the list that are on the list. So this list is very interesting because it has different people from different places. There is one federal head of a federal agency. At the moment, she is this person is the National Commission. She's the head of the National Commission for Refugees, Migrants, and Internally Displaced Persons.
Okay.
Iman Suleiman Ibrahim, who is now going to be a senator. So there are 3 states that have 2 nominees each. Bauchi State, Cross River, and Katsina State have 2 nominees each, where some states don't even have any. There are 3 special presidential advisors on that list already. Dele Alake, Wale Edun, and Hanatu Musawa. Mr. Dele Alake is the president's special advisor on special duties, communication, and strategy. Mr. Wale Edun is the advisor on monetary policies, and Mrs. Musawa is on culture.
Most likely means that for someone like Hanatu Musawa now, there's a talk of an entertainment / culture ministry. Because it's obvious that they had to break up a lot of ministries.
Yeah, I said they're going to break up, according to the President Chief of Staff, they're going to break up a lot of ministries. Also, there are 3 serving lawmakers that are on this list. A new senator, actually, former governor of Ebonyi State, Dave Umahi, is on this list. And you're wondering, are you serious that there's nobody else? Because what this means is that there are going to be fresh elections. Remember that there's already the space of the president's chief of staff, that by-election has to go in. Now, Dave Umahi, Ms. Onyejocha, and Mr. Tunji Ojo, they're all members. These two are members of the House of Representatives. Dave Umahi is a senator, and 3 of them are on the president's list for nomination.
Yeah. In the case of Umahi, I think he's one of the best governors of his set. You know, in the last 8 years, or in the 8 years that he was governor, he had achieved a lot in the area of infrastructural development. Just before he left the seat of government, he earmarked the state metro service. You know, he earmarked the line and set the ball rolling. Hopefully, his predecessor would complete it.
His successor.
Sorry, thank you. Successor will complete it. You know, and that would be a massive thing for Ebonyi State.
Ebonyi State, yeah.
Because everybody's on about Lagos having metro and all. But if there was metro in every state in Nigeria, it would be a beautiful thing. And if the metros can link up with the standard and the double gauge and all the other rail systems that we have, we can create, you know, one of the finest transportation networks in the world.
Okay.
But the states have to chip in.
Yeah. Okay, so talking about states, now he is one of 4 former governors that are on that list. Nasir El-Rufai, I think that El-Rufai's own was not, we saw it coming. We definitely saw it coming.
Yeah, we did.
We saw a video of where he had, I think it was during the campaigns, where he had actually compelled him to promise that he was going to be part of his government. There's Abubakar Badaru on that list. And surprisingly, a PDP governor, Nyesom Wike.
Former PDP. Former governor.
Former governor,
A PDP
yes.
former
a
governor.
PDP former governor, Nyesom Wike, on that list. As much as he was a PDP governor, would I say, it's not surprising.
Yeah.
That we saw Nyesom Wike on that list.
It's not.
But I remember him talking about how he didn't want to be a minister, though.
Yeah, he said that, but again, his body language also changed. There was a time when he also said, I don't know why everybody's zeroing on when he said he didn't want to be a minister. There was a time when he said that. There was also a time when he said that if they feel that they need him to serve, that who is he?
Yeah.
That he will consult with, you know, his people and, you know, come with a decision. However, one of his closest allies, his elder brother, Peter Ayofayoshe, had also said openly on several platforms that the man deserves to
be,
you know, to be
part of the government,
you know, a minister and to work. So I know that people will always grope at straws. They want to complain about everything and they want to point out what is bad about everything. But if I take a look at what Nyesom Wike has done with, you know, his governance of River State, one of the highlights of Nyesom Wike for me was when he called out the other oil-producing states governors and said, you guys have been getting X amount. This money has been owed since 1999. Buhari has paid it. What exactly have you done with it? Then look at all the infrastructure that he put in place, you know, the flyovers and the road construction. And his, why does predecessor keep coming to me? His successor has also started with one of the biggest construction projects ever, you know, in the history of construction in Nigeria at state level.
Okay.
So for me, I would like to say Nyesom Wike in government, because let's talk governance now. Let's leave politics is over until let's wait for the court cases anyway. But for me, politics is over, and I would like to see Nyesom Wike either in the Ministry of Works or in the Niger Delta.
Yeah, there's a Ministry of Niger Delta.
Yeah,
so maybe
one of those places where he can actually, you know, replicate what he did as a governor.
A lot of things that he has done as a governor. Yes, exactly. Also, there are 6 former lawmakers. Before that, there's a former governor of Jigawa State on that list as well. So the 6 former lawmakers on that list, on this list of 28, there's 7 women.
It is, that's like 25%, right?
Yeah.
So it's a welcome development.
No, it's not.
Okay, so what percentage is that?
It's
Of 28?
28%. Yeah, that's I don't think it's a welcome development, my own opinion.
Okay. So what's your opinion? Because I was about to say something.
Maybe
but
like
let me hear from you.
Maybe at least a 40% list. Are we saying that there are not more women that could, that's what I'm saying. They're not more competent women.
I wasn't talking about if they were more competent or not. I'm talking about the percentage of women in the list of 28
That's what I'm
ministers.
saying. I think that it is a very poor percentage.
No, I'm just trying to say what is the percentage. I'm not saying if it's poor or not.
It's 25%, yes.
But you said no.
No, I was talking about...
Okay, so your opinion, and it's valid, but mine is valid too. So there's a 25%, allocation to women on the ministerial list. I think it's a beautiful thing. I think it's an amazing thing, but I think we can do better. Now, we're expecting a minimum of 12 or 13 more ministerial appointments based on,
Yeah, the 11 states, according to the law, you have to pick one person per state. But now there are 11 states that do not have nominations yet.
So we're expecting a minimum of 12 to 13. Do you get? So if you add that to that, there will be more women employed. But before people start to castigate and say stuff, break it down a bit. Better Edu. APC women leader. 36 years old. 35, 36-year-old. She's a ministerial nominee. So, one person embodies several demographics and stuff.
Yeah,
she's a woman.
There's a 38-year-old woman as well on that list.
Better is younger. Mm-hmm. She's arguably the youngest ministerial nominee. And she's a woman. She's from the South. So I can go on about how this list looks like a well-thought-out list. And so I'm excited about the 7 women who are on this list. The Ojo guy is an IT person.
Yeah, huge IT guy.
Like, people don't get it. What about Pate?
So what we're saying is that maybe he's not doing a lot in the house. Being a lawmaker.
That's not what they're
saying.
No.
I'm just saying that maybe he's more useful actually doing what he knows how to do best than just being a lawmaker. That's the way it comes off to me. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying that at times, maybe you need to move people from where they're doing to where they would make much impact. Interestingly, it's surprising that on this list, there is no nomination from Lagos State yet. There's none from Osun State yet. There's none from Kano, Adamawa, Bayelsa, Gombe, Kebbi, Kogi, Yobe, and Zamfara. We've seen it, but surprisingly, I did not think that it was not going to be a person from Lagos State yet. We know that some of these states are going to be very difficult they're very contestable. But anyway, we will see what happens in coming days. I still have a question though, because he submitted one list. And then anyway, they've announced that these nominees are going to start screening on Monday. My issue is that shouldn't he have submitted everything? It just seems like, okay, shall I take this? You push it so that you can keep quiet.
Yeah. So again,
I think it's wrong, though.
Yeah, it's wrong. It's right. It's cool. It's this. It's that. The truth is, if they were sure about the rest of those names, they would have put it out. I believe that there are a lot of things, some last minute tweaks that are being put on the list. Mm-hmm. Again, people forget that there's a process. And again, the DSS also has to screen and some other people screening them. So I'm not making excuses, but what if they don't have the entire list back from the DSS?
Okay.
Just what if? But put that aside. We have 28. Mm-hmm. They must drop the other names so that the screening will start. Because if I was from any of those 11 states that don't have a minister, the Constitution empowers me to complain and talk. Like,
Yeah,
you're
like
supposed
what's
to give.
happening.
Yeah, you know.
Exactly.
So
Very
Mr.
interesting.
President also has to, up the ante or step up his game.
So I read something yesterday talking about apparently this so-called this law actually binds states as well.
Yes,
It is
it does.
actually compulsory. Sadly,
Yes, it does.
it did not. I'm not sure that worked in that that law was in place when Osun and Ekiti State were picking commissioners, because they had they spent like 6-7 months before they decided to pick commissioners. Let's call it spade a spade. I think it's ridiculous. As of today, there are about 18 governors that have still not transmitted their commissioners list to the House of Assembly. There's stories now that Lagos State, a day after you just dropped your list, a day after the time elapsed, is 61 days. So you're actually in contravention of the law. I sent 39 names to the House of Assembly. I think that it is ridiculous if we cannot follow simple due process. They especially take, for example, Lagos State's governor is not a first-time governor.
That's the sad part.
So you can't say that you don't have an idea of who the people you want to replace or the people you want to change.
That's the sad part.
It is ridiculous.
For
We
all the
can't
returning
continue like
governors,
this.
including the governor of Lagos, I think it's completely wrong. It's shameful that you've taken this long to put out a list.
Mm-hmm.
Nigerians want governance. We're tired of politics. We've had about 1 year of politicking, because it was around this time last year that all the primaries took place and all the intrigue and infighting and everything. That, boss, it's not a day now, except say maybe you're trying to tell us you're not ready to be governor. So the governor of Lagos, the governor of Oyo, he just dropped his own list yesterday, right?
Yeah. Oyo State, yes.
It was yesterday.
Enugu
Lagos
State just sent their own list as well today. Come on.
No, Enugu is new.
Okay, he's a new governor.
He's a new guy. You can excuse him.
But there's a law, so we shouldn't excuse these things.
I get it. I get
And
that.
funny thing is that they would even say that they're even better. What happens to governors that have been there? They were there for about 6 months and nothing happened. And then we're very quick to say former President Buhari didn't do this, didn't do that. Like, how is it that a law applies to the federal government and it suddenly seems to be asleep when it comes to state governments? I think it's very ridiculous. It is a very ridiculous thing, and we cannot expect citizens to follow the rule if governments do not follow the rule.
Yeah, so on this part, I hope there's some kind of punishment or something that they will face, because if you pass a law that doesn't come with any form of reprimand or anything, what's to stop them from breaching that law every time?
Yes, exactly. Anyway, earlier today, news broke that President Tinubu had a conversation with U.S. Vice President and the UN Secretary General over the issue that's happening in Niger Republic. I think it is official. There is actually a coup. They've even announced some interim president, interim ruler there and all that. I think that ECOWAS has a lot of work on their hands, and they need to stop this in the space of a week or two. It needs to be stopped, or else it is going to spread.
This is going to be a major test for the new chairman of
ECOWAS.
Of ECOWAS. It's going to be a major test for the African Union. And if you look at the trend, it's a growing trend. The military is coming back, just country after country. Are you going to allow this? Because, like they say, the worst form of democracy is better than the best form of military rule.
Yeah.
That's what they say. Oh, I'm just quoting them. But, I don't think this coup should be allowed to stand. Some of the details we are getting out of Niger is that it was something that was led by the Palace Guard. Now, the leader of the Palace Guard had been there for over 10 years. This is why you reshuffle military people. This is why when the president comes in, he picks his own.
He picks his own people. He picks his own people.
This president has not been there for 10 or 11 years. So the person that is dealing with him now, or that has caused this
has
problem,
become so entrenched.
Yeah, because. But on the flip side, it is also said that it is alleged. This is an allegation. It's not proven that the president himself had refused to look into the welfare of his guards and all of that, and of course that's why the mutiny could escalate to become a coup.
Yeah, but whatever.
No matter what they say, we don't want coups anymore.
Yeah,
we don't want coups anymore.
That's so 1980, 1990. That's so 19. Yeah. We don't do that anymore, please.
No, we don't.
Like you said, it's going to be a huge test for the new chairman of ECOWAS, and because Niger is really close to Nigeria, these things need to be stopped quickly. Quickly before we go, the federal government has approved a 25,000 naira peculiar allowance for doctors. Remember that doctors are supposed to be on strike. So they're saying that this is for medical and dental doctors in hospitals, medical centers, and clinics in the federal public service. And
immediately the states should also ratify this.
Yeah.
You know, we are a country that is under-policed and under-serviced when it comes to medical services too. We don't have enough doctors, and they are living, in their hundreds. So the ones that have decided to stay, let us take care of them.
We
need them.
Definitely.
We're the ones that actually need them.
Also,
so take care of the doctors.
The federal government has also increased hazard allowances for non-hospital-based health practitioners in the country in some agencies like NAFDAC and NCDC. Those are people too that if you're not careful, you probably overlook, and they're doing a lot.
And they are doing a lot, so yeah, kudos to the government for doing that. And I hope that it trickles down and it goes far and wide to other agencies and other people who work for the government.
Also, quickly before we go, there's been a lot of talks coming from the House of Representatives as they've now announced the chairman of 134 House of Reps standing committees. But you people, how many committees?
It's government, it's governance. It's you will find that people will double and play different roles. Like for instance, there's a Labour Party first timer who is the head of the sports committee in the House of Reps. You get there's Honorable Faleke, who retains his chairmanship of the finance committee. There is Akin Alabi, who now heads the works committee and all of that. So the ranking officers who are going to be in positions, but you know that there are a lot of new people who are also going to be in these committees. But a lot of people see them as juicy. They say juicy appointment, juicy committees, and you wonder what is juicy about performing oversight functions. They must know something that people like us, novices like us, do not
know. Abi. All right. Quickly before we go, Ibom has now lamented the incessant theft that goes on flights as a laptop thief was caught on board Lagos Abuja flight. I have one question though.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Flights right now in Nigeria are not cheap.
Nah.
If you get to a point where you are boarding the plane, it means you have a flight ticket.
You're supposed to.
If my memory serves me correctly.
If it does.
So if you have money for flight tickets.
If you do.
You came there to come and you bought tickets to steal a laptop.
If you bought it.
But what now?
You're saying a lot of ifs, so I'm following your line.
It doesn't even, that's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't make any sense. How do you have money to buy flight tickets and you are still...
A thief is a thief is a thief.
See,
flight ticket or not. It's not a Nigerian thing. Anybody that likes to thief, that likes to steal is a thief. So a thief is a thief. Is a thief.
Like, it's just stressing me out. Like, are you joking? Are you actually joking?
We'll find out.
Let me just be honest. Anyway, on that note, that is all we'll be able to take on the boombar. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you very, very, very much for watching. We will be back again on Monday, pew, 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 to give you another wonderful edition of the bar. Do have a beautiful, beautiful day. Boom Radio is going nowhere. It's just the bar that is.
We got
come
fresh
back,
mixes from DJ Bami. He's gonna be here live. It's
Yeah.
gonna be amazing.
Peace.